Hi, I'm Lou with another episode of My Car Story. We're at the Muscle Car and Corvette National, and we're going to have some fun with this video. Come on out to see the Muscle Car and Corvette National because you're going to see some crazy good cars. And Dave, our friends from up north, have a great car. Dave, your last name?
Suruk.
Suruk, and he's got a great car from Canada. What did you bring today?
I dragged down a 71 Hemi Cuda in Violet, or Plum Crazy for whatever name you like to hear. Yeah, it's a great car. It's 4-speed. It's got that big gas-burning 426 in there, so it's a lot of fun.
1971.
71.
So we're going to have a competition between him and Kevin, because Kevin's got a 70 black
Great car.
Hemi Cuda, and at that we'll see who has more views. So you can tell us, and in the comments, which one you like. But let's go right to this car. So right off the bat, how long you had it?
I've got the car in 2016. I had another one of my buddies, Scott Smith. That helped me connect the dots a little bit. I was trying to hunt down a 71, and he shares the same passion, and he knew, hey, this one just might be something that I would be interested in. So he was able to share a little information, and then after that, I had to work hard with the person who owned it.
Okay, come just to the side. We're going to talk about that person who owned it. I want to show the back of the car. There's the back. We've got a car right up against it, so I'm going to step back just a bit so you can kind of take that in. There we go. Let's open up the trunk because I want to show them what we have here. Go ahead. So when you found this car, it looked, well, like that.
Just sitting like that, you know. The guys, there's surprising how many people that actually they're a little bit of purple. I don't know if they weren't sure about their manhood, but they a lot of times, oh my God, I gotta prime that purple car.
So he primes it, and as you go ahead.
Once I picked the car up, I got it home. First thing I did is I grabbed a little thinners and I just started rubbing on the car, and I was able to drag out some of the original purple paint, which was just fabulous. You know, it's an amazing color for 71, and it's pretty cool that it was hiding underneath there.
And let's pull out the build sheet.
Yeah, and
so
it had
all those people who have to see the build sheet, you know, they want to go ahead.
Yeah, it's the build sheet's obviously a great piece of paper. You know, it helps verify the car and what kind of goodies the guys boxes they started to check off back in the day. So yeah, it had the build sheet and the original tags on it. So those are obviously great items to have. It paints the picture, so you know everything on the car is the way it rolled off the assembly line.
So now we won't get too much into names or anything like that, but you found it in Pennsylvania and the guy had it in a hotel?
I did. The fellow's name was Joel. Again, he was a good old country boy. And you know what?
I'm gonna keep showing the car while you're talking.
He was a good old country boy there, and I started to do some communication with him, and we started to connect a little.
Come on over.
And
tell the story while I show the car.
I would try to get Joel some information about stuff. So I said, Joel, can I fire you email some information? And he yelled to us, Rosemary, do we have an email? So he gave me some sort of name. I tried sending him some email. Everything was bouncing back. So I had to hunt down in this little town a local hardware store that had a fax machine in the back. So I would send him information. He'd run down there, pay his 10 cents, and call me back and say, hey, I got your paperwork today. Oh yeah, good, all this interesting information. So at that time I was trying to negotiate the car. So I was giving him little examples of other cars and stuff like that. And building a relationship. It's always fun to hear the stories from the individuals, what they're about. And again, good old boy had this thing. It was his brother's car. He had passed away. He was sitting in the barn in his backyard, and then we were able to, get some more information on and learn about the car and try and drag it out of his garage.
And I've got a question for you. This isn't argent, which is that silver. Why this color has a black to it?
Well, the 71s were black. 71s were black. 70s were silver.
70s were silver. So in other words, as we're going to see both of them, black, and there's the argent that I was just asking about, or silver.
Yep.
So let's come back to the front. And just so you know, you're going to be competing against that car right there. We're going to see who gets more views, Kevin or Dave.
The old cheese grater grill, you know. So that's, you got some of the old Chevy guys that you blow past them and they're feeling a little off, start whining a little much. So tell you what, let me grab a block of cheese. I'll run it for a grill to go with all the whining you're doing.
That is great.
And these cars, again, this is a super track pack car, which means 410.
Give me that line one more time.
The old taking the Chevy and 4 guys out while you're flying down the thing, you just laying, and next thing they're just seeing taillights, and they pull over and they start whining like crazy. Like, whoa, hang on. Let me run to the back of my car, grab a block of cheese. I'll run to the front of the grill, and I'll run it through the cheese grater grill for that sad story you just told me.
So we have wine and cheese. Kevin's going to have his work cut out on that one. All right, that was pretty good.
So yeah, we went from from
Nice
bottom up on this car and restored everything. And again, Dave West, he's helped me with a couple of restorations, and I dove deep into this one myself. And I put 300 hours in scrubbing grommets and trying to pretend I knew what I was doing.
So the other thing that's interesting with this car, 300 hours scrubbing.
Well, that was just me. The car, these things, oh my, I can't even imagine the hours. I just know I got a big stack of invoice with bills, and it takes a long time to do one of these things. And when you start talking about the Chryslers, every little nut, every little bolt, every little spot is special on them and either date coded or just unique to the cars. It takes a long time to find them. And again, obviously, any little part you have that's original, you want to try and work that part and put it back on the car versus replace it with something else.
And speaking of original, did this car come with the Dictaphone?
It did, yeah.
Unbelievable.
It's probably because again they've only made a handful of purple 71 4-speeds. I think this is the only one with the Dictaphone. And the crazy thing about that option, back in the day, that was a $230-some option.
Wow.
So it was a big deal, and that was these the first cars. 71 was the first year of cassettes.
Do you have a light on your phone or something? I just want to show that a little more. I want to give you the best chance possible. There.
Yeah, so you, depending what you want to do, if you want to throw some Johnny Cash in there, it'll burn the ring of fire, or else you maybe tell you what, you're going to grab some groceries, you got to hit the Dictaphone, and the wife says, yeah, can you pick me up some donuts or some other stuff. You just throw it on the Dictaphone, or you just maybe start the Hemi up and throw that microphone on there and just hear a little rubber burning, and then just record it. But again, the 70s, sorry guys, you couldn't do that on your 70s, but important stuff.
That is good. That is great. All right, let's take a look at the beast under the hood, shall we?
The beast.
Right before we fire. When you're at a live car show, you're going to have some audio challenges, but that's the fun of it.
There it is.
Wow. And you taught me something. I didn't realize that the 71s were black, so that's great.
So, again, we Dave West and all the little details, every little things, crazy numbers and everything, even these horns are date coded.
Wow.
We do little things like that. The same thing when they painted the blocks on these things, the blocks were wet, the wires were already on them, so you can kind of see paint dabs, because the spark plugs were dangling against the wet paint. So wet paint would get, onto the spark plug wires.
So that's done intentionally.
That's done intentionally. You kind of try and get all that factory ugliness into the car. And there's just, all the stuff is just everywhere. All the details, obviously, spray over, battery cables. The number of holes of these of things there. Again, you kind of don't have them past. You kind of keep those detailed. And again, just same thing. All the big obvious things. Windshield wipers got date codes on them. Factory valve covers. We try and get one of these sides, we put some extra runs in the valve covers, just because that's what we found. So there's details like that.
Were the Hemis always two tag cars?
There's actually some that are 3 fender tags, more options. Basically how many options, and then they fit it on there, then if they need another tag, they'll stick under the tag. So
how was the Dictaphone? What are
the Dictaphone, it does show up on there as a radio code,
okay,
which would be an R. There's an R number, and that refers to AM cassette. Yes. So you'll find it on the tag, and you also find it on the sheet.
Got it. Well, it's time to fire it up, I think.
All right. Well, let's spark it up.
The shaker, and we'll start it. I'll let it idle. We'll step on the brakes. We'll give it a good rev. You step on the brakes for a minute. Dave, can you step on the brakes for a second? Thank you. One good rev in that elephant. One good rev. All right, we'll shut that down. That's a guy who wants to win the views.
It's great. It's a great motor, and another couple guys that helped me out, Bob Crashin and Paul Petku. Bob helped rebuild the motor on this thing, and Bob's a fabulous guy. And I've actually had a chance to drive this thing on the street, and oh my God. This thing, he said to you, if it doesn't scare you, it's not a Hemi. And I tell you what, I've had to, my cheek's been pretty tight when I hit second gear and we're breaking loose. So
Is that right?
oh my God, this thing just pulls hard. So it's really cool to see.
Do you take it out once in a while?
I do. I got to show you a picture of my wife driving, trying to teach her how to do a burnout in it. So I've actually just started putting a few miles on it now, and I tell you, it is Hemi pulling strong. The boys back in '71 had a lot of fun. These things, they really do haul when they're dialed in right and you get the right guys massaging them, and so they're a lot of fun.
Dave, fun seeing you again.
Yeah, thanks.
Unbelievably great car, and we'll see how you and Kevin play out. Good luck to you.
We'll try, guys. Give me Purple's great. Hey, this is a fabulous car too. We both enjoy coming down from Canada, showing you guys our stuff, and we appreciate Lou giving an avenue for you guys to check it all out. So yeah, check it out, enjoy the cars, and we'll see you at McCacken.
Thank you.